What's going on, guys? Today we're going to talk about a fragrance from the house of Parfums de Marly that is honestly so talked about in the community, mainly due to the clones, dupes, and inspirations of it and spin-offs, but it's time to go back to the OG and see if it really has what it takes to be something that should be on your shelf or even a profile that you guys should consider. This one's for men, so strap up and let's go for that ride. All right, welcome to the Scent Bubble. I am your host for the afternoon. Today, from the house of Parfums de Marly, we have Althaïr. Man, what is there to say about this fragrance? So many people talk about it, mainly due to the rise of the fragrance you guys are all familiar with, Liquid Brune. But even before Liquid Brune was out, this fragrance was widely talked about. And so we are going to dive into it today. I wanted to put my nose back on it. It's been a couple of years. And so, I thought it was time to, pay homage, see what it's hitting for, see kind of where it sits in the marketplace, as well as compared to the, various renditions of it that have come out. And let's go ahead and dive straight in. Terrible atomizer. That's okay. We're going to hit skin and test strip. I'm going to start doing that more when it's appropriate in 2026. And so let's go ahead and do that. Let's see if I can give you guys any quick information. 4.4 out of 5 with almost 9,000 votes. Highly mass appeal fragrance. Everybody's tried this, bought this. And we have a big sample size to work with. So in the niche marketplace, this is a fragrance you want to smell, and it's almost blind buy worthy if you have the coin for it. Launched in 2023, Parfums de Marly launches Althaïr, a masculine fragrance that pays homage to the French hot parfumier and the woody vanilla amber fragrance family. The modern tribute features high quality. Actually, I don't want to tell you guys the notes. And that's all that it is. Okay. So it was a collaboration perfume by two perfumers. Let's just go straight into it. And very nice. Immediately I'm not hit with some kind of head scratching nature with this scent. It's an addicting, intoxicating vanilla scent that you just want to go in and go in and go in and go in. It's that classic vanilla, warm, spicy, intimate, cozy, holiday, date night, intimate, fall, winter type of jam. It's really interesting. To me, I immediately think about Le Male Elixir, and I think about its clone, which is Lattafa's Kingdom. Those just smell very close to this scent profile. I'm very interested to see the dry down. The quality on it doesn't feel the most niche in terms of depth and richness, but this is definitely very high quality. I just don't find it to be something where it's like, you cannot get this from a designer or a clone scent. So I just want to put that out there. Some people view Parfums de Marly as either a clone house or either just more truly like designer level, but I think they're high quality and you should consider their fragrances, especially due to the mass appeal of most of their fragrances. I really gravitate towards fragrances like Wajon and Carlisle and Galloway. But, even if you go to like the Laytons and the Sedleys and the Castleys and Pegasus, all that stuff, those are all still phenomenal scents. But yeah, this is just that an aromatic brush. Hopefully we'll see if this has lavender or some type of thing that's softening it up, similar to the Le Male Elixir profile. But again, vanilla and warm spices, and then these aromatic bright touches that just kind of lift it up and give it some texture. On skin, I get even more aromatic pop, which is really nice to see because that type of animation is what gives this scent profile more character and more depth. On the test strip, it feels almost entirely warm, spicy cinnamon vanilla. On skin, it lifts up and gets a little bit more personality, which I can definitely appreciate. Let's go ahead and switch windows here for you guys. Cinnamon, cardamom, orange blossom, bergamot. We don't have the lavender there. That's interesting. Middle notes: Bourbon Vanilla, Elemi, Praline, Musk, Ambroxan, Guaiac Wood, Tonka, and Almond. So again, in the marketplace, think of fragrances like Le Male Elixir, think of fragrances like Angel Share, think of fragrances like Wajan, even think of fragrances like Absolute Aphrodisiac. That fragrance doesn't necessarily have the cinnamon, the praline, and all that good stuff, but it definitely has the cozy vanilla intimacy vibe. So those are the fragrances that I hope I can connect you to. Maybe you've smelled one of those, hopefully. That kind of gets you in this wheelhouse. Even some of you guys who are more cheaper in the fragrance buying experience, like your Kamra, Kawas, and stuff like that. Even those fragrances get you about 75-80% into this realm. Very long lasting. Okay, so Liquid Brune, obviously, when you see a fragrance that has almost 2,000 votes to 80, you can trust that you're going to get this. Even Mercedes Club Black, amazing fragrance. Art of Nature 2 from Lattafa. We mostly hear about things like Art of Arabia and all that stuff. Island Dunes from Cod Lodge. I'm really surprised we don't see Le Male Elixir here. Azaro, The Most Wanted, Parfum, Vanille Antique from Byredo, Stronger With You Intensely. Yeah, I completely agree. Let's jump out for half a second and just kind of summarize this fragrance, and then maybe I might have some more to offer you. But this is a really good fragrance, man. I mean, I almost want to call this a 10, but it is not to me. Again, the scent bubble. To a lot of you guys, it will be your go-to intimate holiday, fall, winter, and nightlife type of fragrance, because it's just like, what woman and what man doesn't like vanilla, cinnamon, and praline? It's got a nice musky lift to it. Maybe it's the musk. It's got a heavy dose of musk that's kind of treating it like that soft, brushy lavender lift. For me, and I don't really think that this is out of reach or whatever, but it's a 9. I think what keeps it out of 10 category for me is maybe it's just been made too much in the marketplace. And so when you have a DNA that you're very familiar with, vanilla and musk, for instance, vanilla and spices, you really need to nail the blend. And it doesn't have to have the most complexity, but it should have a ton of animation that gives it nuance. Because really, it's not what's in the front of this fragrance as much as what's behind the fragrance that will dictate how signature it is in the marketplace. And so I feel that it's a very strong profile. It does the job. It's versatile in its lane, but it almost feels a bit generic in the complexity category, to the point where I feel as though if you had any of the fragrances I named, Lattafa Kingdom, the Cod Lodge, Liquid Brune. By the way, Liquid Brune is coming out with not a collector's edition, but a limited edition in 2026 that is basically everything Liquid Brune was, but stronger, louder, closer, richer, all that stuff. So stay tuned for that. And I actually think that when that release comes out, it will beat Althaïr outright. Liquid Brune is not Althaïr, but it's close enough, and in its nuanced twists, it is its own thing. But I think the limited edition will kind of staple never really having to buy this if you don't want to. But I think even if you had Club Black, Kingdom, Le Male Elixir, Angel Share, Stronger With You Intensely, you're going to smell this fragrance and be like, you know what? It's great, but I don't need it. But as its own thing, outside of the marketplace as a fragrance, I give it a great 9. It's not only above average, but it just has so much utility. It does have a little bit of complexity and richness due to that musk lift on it. And it's so likable. It's really, truly so likable. On skin is where it really comes alive by about 20% to me. And so I would say if you're trying this fragrance, put it on your skin and just watch it animate, because the test strip, it's a little bit generic, but it gets less generic on skin. fragrances like this, I'm doing 4 to 8 sprays. If I'm going to be outside a lot, I'm going to go 8. If I'm going to be indoors, I think 4 to 5 sprays is like plenty. I mean, some of you guys could even spray this like 3 times, 2 in the front, 1 in the back, and it's going to carry you. I think this fragrance easily goes 10 hours plus. But again, it's a fall, winter, nighttime, and romance scent. So you can wear it year round. I just think it has more utility closer to fall, winter. But if you live on the East Coast or something like that, where it's just regularly cold all the time, it's year round. Again, it evokes intimacy, holiday, and not just romantic intimacy, but family intimacy, friends, loved ones, things like that. It's cozy. I'm honestly surprised that they call this a fragrance for men. I really think they cheated themselves out of the marketplace. I could imagine a lot of women that bought Althaïr and just said, screw it, I don't care what anybody says. And no one would even think it's a men's scent on a woman, to be quite honest. Vanilla, warm spice, and musk. Really, the only thing that could drive it mostly masculine is going to be the liquor note, I think. Isn't there a liquor note here? Let's check. No, there isn't even any booze in this. So yeah, I don't really, they missed a marketing opportunity there. I told you guys all the variations that you could get with this fragrance. How many sprays? Oh, the price. Lucky Scent says that this retails for $400. It comes in 125 ml, but they do sell a 75 ml version that's $290. On discounters, you can get this fragrance for around $260 as 100 ml. Yeah. No, $360 as a 125 ml. So it retails at $400, discounter price around $350 for the jumbo bottle. 75 ml is going for more like the $250. I've seen this fragrance a lot on TikTok Shop and on the Whatnot app, and just individuals selling this fragrance in 100 ml closer to the 75 ml price, like somewhere between like $200 and $250. I've even seen it go below $200 often, not necessarily on websites, but more on the outlets and the discounters and stuff during the holiday season. I think you can get Althaïr closer to the 180 to 200 price point. So definitely get your nose on it, guys. I think it's a phenomenal scent. I really like it, but I also think the clones and the inspirations and other things, and even the designer fragrances that are close to this profile, have definitely made it so that you do not have to spend serious coin to get this profile. Have you guys put your nose to Althaïr? Do you own a bottle of Althaïr? Where do you think it falls in the marketplace? If there's something you prefer over it, please put it in the chat below. I'm sure a lot of you guys will have plenty to say about this fragrance, and I want you to. Like, comment, subscribe. More importantly, turn on that notification bell. Can we get some focus on this? I think I got to put it in front of my face for the camera to, there we go. Like, comment, subscribe, turn on that notification bell. If you're new to the channel, I'm going to recommend 2 videos on the left and right hand side that I think you'll be interested in based off what you've been searching for. All things cheap and expensive and easy to find, hard to find. We cover everything and include some good entertainment, but these reviews are designed to just give you as much information. Maybe you smelled it, but you're not sure if you want to buy it, or maybe you have no clue what it smells like and can't really get to a store to put your nose on it. This review is designed to give you a lot of alternative thinking as well as just quick information, but all the information that would go into a purchase so that if you do decide to buy this, you can buy it with complete confidence or not buy it with complete confidence. So I hope this was beneficial to you guys. Again, I'm SB. This was Parfums de Marly, Althaïr, and I'm interested to see the community conversation around this one. But stay blessed, and until next time, take care.